In the 1970s, people didn't hit the gym. They hit the dance floor, moving for hours every week, year after year. Today, research reveals that elders who live this ritual still stand steadier and react faster than their peers. Their secret? A hidden workout embedded in music, laughter, and community. But how did disco and line dancing rewire bodies for lifelong balance? The answer starts in the decade that moved everyone. Night after night, the pulse of the city moved through clubs that never seemed to close. In New York, underground discos like Paradise Garage and The Loft opened their doors at midnight and kept the music spinning until dawn. For the regulars, dancing wasn't a weekend treat. It was a ritual. Some spent 3, 4, even 5 nights a week lost in the rhythm, clocking 6 to 10 hours on their feet each time. Church halls in the Bronx, roller rinks in the Midwest, and VFW posts in small towns all echoed with the sound of laughter and shifting feet. At St. Mary's Church, community dances stretched on for 3 to 5 hours, drawing families, neighbors, and friends into a shared groove. The diversity of venues meant that every community had its own dance floor. Some found their stride under the neon haze of commercial clubs, like Studio 54, while others preferred the steady beat of line dancing at the local roller rink or the warmth of a church social. In the heart of the disco era, even casual dancers might put in 3 hours a night, once or twice a week. But for the underground club regulars, the numbers soared. Over the course of a year, a committed dancer could rack up hundreds of hours, thousands over a decade. One longtime club regular recalls, "We'd arrive at midnight, and the sun would be up before we left. No one counted steps, but you felt it in your bones." This relentless schedule wasn't just about fun. It forged stamina, built muscle, and, without anyone realizing it, laid the foundation for balance that would last a lifetime. On any given night in the 1970s, the dance floor became a meeting ground for everyone. Teens, parents, grandparents, and even the occasional toddler clinging to a parent's leg. The crowd was a patchwork of backgrounds: Black, Latino, white, working class, and middle class, blue-collar families and college students. The regulars at the community ballroom might include a retired steelworker, a high school teacher, and a local shop owner, all moving in unison to the same beat. At the roller rink, line dancers formed rows that stretched from wall to wall, each step echoing the rhythm of 1,000 others. No one was too young or too old to join in, and newcomers were welcomed with a nod and a space in the line. This wasn't a world of exclusive clubs or private lessons. Every neighborhood had its own gathering: church socials in the city, VFW halls in small towns, block parties that spilled out onto the street. The routine was simple: show up, dance, repeat. For many, it was as regular as Sunday dinner. Some families made it a weekly tradition, passing down steps and favorite songs from one generation to the next. Others found community in the shared energy of strangers, united by music and movement. Ballroom regulars honed their timing and grace through constant repetition, while line dancers practiced precision and teamwork with every synchronized step. The repetition wasn't just habit, it was training, woven into the fabric of daily life. Across every age and background, the dance floor offered a place where movement became second nature, and balance was built one joyful night at a time. Balance is more than just staying upright. It's the result of 3 powerful systems working together every time someone steps onto a dance floor. Deep inside the ear, the vestibular system acts as the body's internal gyroscope. It senses every spin, tilt, and sudden stop. When a dancer whirls through a disco turn or dips to the beat, tiny canals filled with fluid in the inner ear send instant signals to the brain, letting it know which way is up. That's how a dancer can recover from a dizzying spin and land on both feet, steady and smiling. Meanwhile, the proprioceptive system quietly tracks every joint and muscle. It's the reason a dancer can move backwards in a line dance without looking, or slide into a sidestep while holding a partner's hand. Sensors in the ankles, knees, and hips report the position of each limb, so the body knows exactly where it is in space, even in the dark or with eyes closed. This constant feedback keeps movements smooth and controlled, allowing for quick shifts and sudden changes in direction. Overseeing it all is the cerebellum, a small, densely packed part of the brain tucked at the back of the head. The cerebellum coordinates timing, rhythm, and the memory of every practice step. Each routine, from the hustle to the cha-cha, gets stored as a pattern. With repetition, these patterns become automatic, freeing dancers to improvise and react in the moment. Even decades later, the brain can retrieve these memories, making balance feel natural, not forced. Together, these three systems, vestibular, proprioceptive, and cerebellar, form an invisible team. Dancing in the 1970s trained all three at once, forging connections that last a lifetime. That's why, for many elders who once lived for the dance floor, balance is still second nature. 3 major studies help explain why elders who danced in the 1970s still move with confidence today. In 2019, researchers published results in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity, comparing older adults with a history of regular dancing to those who never danced. The difference was clear. The dancers scored higher on balance tests, had faster reaction times, and performed better on tasks measuring postural control. Even a 6-month dance program, just 1 hour a week, led to measurable improvements in stability and coordination, while a control group showed no change or even a decline. The gains weren't limited to the dance floor. Dancers did better on general mobility and cognitive tests too. A 2021 study in Frontiers in Human Neuroscience used brain scans to look deeper. It found that dancing does more than strengthen muscles or joints. The act of learning and remembering steps, moving to the beat, and adjusting to partners lights up multiple regions in the brain at once. Older adults with dance experience showed stronger connections in areas responsible for movement memory, attention, and balance. These neural pathways, built through years of practice, help explain why some seniors move with the agility of people a decade younger. Harvard Health summarized these findings in 2022, noting that dance outperforms walking or yoga when it comes to balance and agility in older adults. In one trial, seniors who danced regularly reduced their risk of falling by more than a third over 6 months. Their reaction times improved by up to 30 milliseconds, enough to catch a stumble before it turns into a fall. But not every expert sees dance as a cure-all. Geriatric physical therapists caution that while the evidence is strong, results vary. Some people may not see dramatic changes, and those with joint problems or recent injuries should talk with a doctor or physical therapist before starting a new dance routine. The science is promising, but safety and individual needs always come first. Every dance floor in the 1970s was a laboratory for movement, and every participant was an experiment in balance. The mechanics of those nights went far beyond simple steps. Disco demanded spins that left the room whirling, yet dancers landed steady, guided by an inner compass honed through constant repetition. A single night could mean hundreds of turns, thousands of weight shifts, and endless footwork, each one a tiny challenge to the body's balance systems. The group energy was its own force. In a crowded line dance, moving in sync wasn't just about rhythm. It meant reading the room, matching timing with dozens of others, and adjusting on the fly. One missed beat could send the line wobbling, so everyone learned to react in fractions of a second. Ballroom regulars practiced leading and following, anticipating partners' moves, and making split-second corrections to keep both dancers upright and in step. These micro-adjustments trained the brain and body to recover from stumbles before they happened. The dynamic choreography of the era, sidesteps, cross-body turns, quick pivots, pushed dancers to master transitions between movements. Each dip or sudden change in direction called for reflexes as sharp as any athlete's. Even the fashion-added challenge, platform shoes, raised the stakes, forcing ankles and calves to work overtime to keep balance on slick, crowded floors. Behind the scenes, something else was happening. The joy of the music, the surge of laughter, and the feeling of belonging triggered a rush of dopamine in the brain. This chemical reward didn't just make dancers feel good, it helped lock in muscle memory. The body learned to associate complex movement with pleasure, strengthening the neural pathways that control balance. Night after night, these joyful challenges became hardwired, creating a foundation of stability that would last for decades. For many, the dance floor was the original training ground, one where fun and fitness were inseparable, and every beat reinforced the body's ability to move with confidence. Procedural memory, the brain's system for storing learned movements, endures long after the music fades. For elders who spent years on the dance floors of the 1970s, this memory lives in every step, turn, and pause, even decades later. Unlike facts or names that slip away with age, the body's recollection of motion proves remarkably persistent. Scientists have traced this resilience to the cerebellum, the small, densely packed region at the back of the brain that manages coordination and balance. In 2017, researchers at the University of Magdeburg scanned the brains of older adults who had danced regularly for much of their lives. The images revealed something striking. These dancers' cerebellums looked as healthy and robust as those of people 10 years younger. The grooves and folds, which often thin with age, appeared well preserved. The volume of this key region, so essential for balance, showed little of the shrinkage seen in non-dancers of the same age. This preservation isn't just academic. When asked to walk a straight line, stand on one foot, or recover from a gentle push, long-term dancers outperformed their peers. Their reactions were quicker, their stances steadier, their movements more assured. Even those who hadn't danced in years could recall complex routines with just a bit of music or a familiar beat. The explanation lies in the brain's ability to automate practiced skills, storing them in circuits that remain accessible, even as other memories fade. MRI scans confirm that these motor pathways, once strengthened by hours of joyful repetition, resist the wear and tear of time. The body forgets some things with age, but not rhythm. For elders who danced through the 70s, the beat is still there, quietly guiding every step and helping them stay upright when it matters most. The evidence is etched not just in memory, but in the very structure of the brain itself. For those who lived their youth on the dance floors of the 1970s, the benefits are more than memories. They're written in the way they walk, stand, and move today. Ask any elder who once called the disco their second home, and the answer comes with a smile and a quick demonstration. "I'm 72 and I can still spin without getting dizzy," says Gloria, who danced at Paradise Garage every weekend for years. She lifts a foot, balances with ease, and laughs. "My grandkids try to keep up, but I've got the moves." Frank, a retired teacher from Detroit, credits his steady gait to countless nights spent line dancing at the roller rink. The music would start, and you just forgot about everything else. Now, when I walk down icy sidewalks in winter, I still feel that rhythm in my legs. It's like my body remembers how to adjust, even before I think about it. For many, the confidence goes beyond balance. There's a pride in knowing that the hours spent moving to earth, wind and fire, or the Bee Gees still pay off decades later. "I never thought of it as exercise," says Maria, now 68, who grew up attending church socials in the Bronx. "But when I see friends my age struggling with stairs or afraid of falling, I realize those dance steps were training all along." These stories aren't just nostalgia, they're living proof. Elders who once danced for joy now move with assurance, their balance a quiet legacy of nights spent in motion. The music may have changed, but the confidence remains. a steady step, a quick recovery from a stumble, and the willingness to join any dance, anytime. For them, the beat never faded. It simply moved inside, shaping every stride. A simple 5-minute routine can bring the rhythm of the 70s back into daily life. No gym, no fancy gear, just music and movement. Start by choosing a favorite song from that era. As soon as the beat hits, stand with feet hip-width apart and sway gently side to side. Let your arms move naturally, shifting your weight from one foot to the other. After a minute, add a few side steps. Step out to the right. Bring your left foot to meet it, then reverse. Keep the movement light and easy, focusing on balance rather than speed. Next, try a gentle spin. Turn halfway to the right, then back to center, always keeping one hand near a sturdy chair or countertop for support if needed. If spinning feels unsteady, substitute with a slow march in place, lifting knees just a little higher. For the last minute, practice a simple grapevine. Step right, cross left behind, step right again, then tap the left foot. Repeat to the other side. This move trains coordination and challenges balance, just like old line dances did. Safety always comes first. If you have any concerns about dizziness, joint pain, or recent falls, talk with a doctor or physical therapist before starting. Use stable shoes and clear space to avoid tripping hazards. Even those who never danced in the 70s can start now. Every step counts, and it's never too late to join the groove. For extra motivation, invite a friend or family member to dance with you, or join a local community class. The goal isn't perfection, but regular, joyful movement. 5 minutes a day is enough to wake up the balance systems and bring a bit of disco magic back into everyday life. In the 1970s, elders who danced often spent 3 to 6 hours a night on the floor, sometimes several nights a week. Scientific studies, such as the 2019 Journal of Aging and Physical Activity, confirm these habits led to better postural stability and lower fall risk decades later. MRI scans from the University of Magdeburg show that lifelong dancers can have cerebellums, similar to those of people 10 years younger. While researchers still study exactly how much dance is needed to produce these changes, the evidence is clear. Frequent, joyful movement in youth has a lasting impact. Today, doctors and physical therapists recommend rhythmic activity as part of fall prevention programs, echoing what communities discovered by experience. What remains unknown is whether other activities can match dance's unique blend of social, emotional, and neurological benefits. But the records show one fact. For those who danced through the 70s, the rhythm still supports their steps today. Thank you for watching and spending a little time with us today. If you enjoyed this journey back to the simple, timeless ways to stay strong and feel young, give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We've got more inspiring stories and documentaries coming soon, right here on Seniors Retro Vitality, where yesterday's wisdom builds a healthier tomorrow.